Welcome back into another Garnet Trust exclusive, very special guest joining us here today. He is South Carolina wide receiver Corey Rucker, a transfer in from Arkansas State. Corey has been on campus for about 4 weeks now. And before we tell you a little bit about 360 Clean, Corey, I appreciate you doing this, man. Hope you've been doing well. And how you doing today, man?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm good, man. Like I said, we appreciate you doing this. We enjoy these Garnet Trust interviews because we hope to let the fans get a little peek into the life of South Carolina football student athletes. So that's what we're going to do today. This is brought to you by 360 Clean. Corey's got his 360 Clean shirt on right there. So we appreciate 360 Clean being a huge supporter of South Carolina student athletes. They've done several of these interviews for us. If you own a business, feel free to reach out to 360 Clean. They do commercial cleaning services and outstanding company. So appreciate Barry Bodiford, Allison Bodiford for being the sponsor of this interview. So Corey, like I said, man, let's get down to it. You've been on campus 4 weeks. I remember talking to you, I think right after your official visit. It seemed like you kind of fell in love with the place. You and Coach Stepp, you said y'all hit it off pretty quickly there. What has the experience been like so far? Just top to bottom, getting settled in, getting ready for the workouts. What's it been like for you, man?
I'd say probably my first 2 weeks was a little bit difficult, just trying to transition into being into a new city and not really knowing anybody because those first 2 weeks is just I kind of came a little bit before all the newcomers, so I was here for a little while by myself, and then after we had our report day, getting to meet a couple of my new teammates, slowly starting to build a relationship with people, it started to get a little bit easier. But once we jumped into workouts, just being able to meet the guys and being around more of the wideouts a little bit more, I started to kind of find my place within a group and kind of find my little crowd of who I'm going to be with mostly.
That's great, man. So like I say, you've been here about a month. Let's maybe rewind just real quick to the recruiting process. You hit the portal. It seemed like South Carolina was one of I don't know if they were the exact first team to reach out, but it seemed like they were one of the first schools to kind of like start to really show some love when you hit the portal. What was that going through? Just that entire process of hitting the portal. I'm sure there's a little bit of like unknown where you're like, you have no idea what schools are going to reach out, what coaches are going to show interest. It seems like it worked out really well for you, but what can you tell the fans about just that moment where you throw your name in there and you don't really know what's going to happen next, I guess?
It's really just kind of like just throwing a dart in the dark. You're not really you have no idea what's going to happen, and you just got to kind of have like a little bit of faith that God's going to take control and lead you in the right direction. But honestly, I had no plan. It's just one of those things that just happened, and I was like, whatever comes, like it comes. I knew I would have a couple of opportunities just because of the previous coaching staff that was at Arkansas State my true freshman year. They went to Utah State. I knew I probably have an outlook there, and quarterback Lane Hatcher that I played 2 seasons with went to Texas State. So I knew I had some connections in certain places, but still I wasn't 100% sure what was going to happen. And I think Coach Stepp was probably like the second coach to call me when I entered the portal, and he let me know that he was really interested and offered me, and we kind of went from there.
With Coach Stepp, I know when we first interviewed you, you spoke very highly of like y'all's initial conversations. I'm sure you got to know him a bit better when you took the visit. Now you've actually been able to be around him some, and I think you were out there at some of the summer camps as well, like working those. You're probably around him out there too. What has it been like just starting to, really get to know him, not just on the field but off the field as well? I think receivers maybe had dinner together this week at Coach Stepp's house or somewhere. How has that process been getting to know Coach Stepp in a more day-to-day basis?
It's been really good. I'd say he hasn't changed at all. It wasn't like the recruiting side of him and then like the actual him. He's been the same. He's been very consistent. And like when I entered the portal, me and him talked every day. There wasn't a day that went by where he didn't text me. But like just actually being around him in person now, it makes our relationship just that much stronger. And I'd say, he's really a good guy, really humble, down to earth. He's not one to do all the yelling and cussing and screaming. He's just gonna grab you and like let you know what you did wrong and ways you can go about fixing it. But just building that relationship with him and getting close to him has been absolutely amazing.
So I know, Corey, y'all are kind of in the middle of summer workouts right now. I think y'all started those right around the beginning of June. So you've gotten about, 3 weeks or so of those out of the way now. What was that first couple of workouts like coming in? I know some of the other transfers I've talked to, have kind of talked about it being, there's a little bit of a learning curve at the very beginning. It's a little bit of like, okay, wow, this is what a Luke Day workout is all about. For you, was that part of the transition tough, or were you able to kind of hit the ground running with what Coach Day asked of you guys during the summer?
I hit the ground running pretty well. I think I carried myself really well through workouts. I'd say the only thing was just really trying to figure out. There was a lot of movements that were new for me, so figuring out just how to do those and getting them down pat. But like after seeing it done and like being able to go through my first workout, I feel like I did pretty well. I kept up with the guys. Most time condition, I'm out in front, and Coach Day told me the other day like I was doing really well. They usually have transfers come in and actually compete at the top level, like with other athletes. And for me to come in and do that has been really good.
Yeah, it's got to be a great sign, man. From what I understand, it's kind of like the Luke Day has a little bit of different approach, I guess, to workouts. It's kind of like almost from the ground up. Like you kind of start to crawl before you walk and then walk before you run. Can you give the fans a little insight as a guy who's obviously played ball somewhere else, come up playing ball your whole life? What is the biggest difference you've seen being in Coach Day's philosophy, maybe compared to some of the other, just strength coaches you've been under?
I'd say definitely just the way we warm up. We start off, we just lay down and we breathe for a minute. And then, like you said, like we start to crawl and then get into some running phases or whatever. But I'd say the biggest difference between here and the last place I was at is that everything is like, I'd say it's kind of like a fast pace
Mm-hmm.
because like there's not really a moment of like just teaching, but it's like, here's an example. Like I had to see one of my teammates do it, and I had to pick up off that and try to learn and roll with it.
I got you, man. I got you. So, also in the category of learning, I'm sure getting in, starting to learn that playbook, learn the offense. You know, there's certain things y'all can do right now as a team. You won't really be into true preseason practice until about, I guess that's maybe 40 days from now, probably now. But what has that been like so far as just starting to get ready to transition in? I know it's a very NFL style offense, supposed to get you ready for the next level. With that comes a bit of a learning process, I would imagine. What has that been like for you, man, personally, just starting to dive in and getting a feel for what the receivers are asked to do in this scheme?
I've actually excelled pretty well for myself right now. Just coming from Arkansas State, we was a no huddle signal, and like we was super fast paced, like everything was super fast. But here, we huddle, so I don't have to learn signals, so that kind of helping me a lot. And really, we have a lot of the same concepts, just different names. So a lot of these plays I already know. I just have to switch the terminology. So that's helped me a lot, and like I really pretty much got it down pat right now.
Awesome, man. Awesome. What has it been like getting to know? Maybe you mentioned it earlier, some of your receiver teammates as well, kind of getting settled into that room. Um, have you kind of started to find that comfort level as far as like these are the guys I'm going to be in the meeting rooms with, on the field with? I mean, I imagine that's kind of big to just you spend so much time, is what I'm trying to say. You spend so much time with these guys. That's got to be a big part of it, is starting to get comfortable with each other and what your teammates are all about. They get comfortable with what you're all about as well.
Yeah, it's definitely been good, especially like in those practice settings. I never really feel alone. Jalen Brooks always come alongside me and let me know what's going on. DK always makes sure I'm good. AB's always been right there. And in the meeting room, I sit right behind Josh, so he'll turn around and let me know like this is basically what the thought process behind this is. So it's been really good, like having those guys there to kind of just lead and mentor me.
Definitely, man. Definitely. So let's talk a little non-football. I know you're kind of a big tweeter. I feel like your tweets get good response. I feel like so. You reached out to Gamecock Nation. This is a few weeks ago now, and you were wanting some food recommendations. They delivered. It looked like you got some. You probably got more reactions of places than you've even been able to go see yet. But I think I saw maybe you checked out D's Wings. I know you did finally get to try Halls because I think maybe you were hosting a visitor potentially. So what has the Columbia food scene been like? And you want to show some love to? Is there anybody in particular, any places in particular that you've kind of locked in on during this experience so far?
I have made quite a few visits to Market on Main. That's been a
Okay.
really good spot.
What's the order there? What's the go-to?
The grilled chicken. They got like half boneless, half bone-in grilled chicken. Is super good.
Okay, so you're still managing to get something that's somewhat healthy, it
Mhm.
sounds like.
Yeah,
Have you tried the burger there yet?
I haven't.
Do you like burgers?
Yeah, yeah, of course.
Okay, all right. Whenever you're there on a cheat day, check out the burger. It is the burger and fries there are money. Like you will love it. Anywhere you haven't been that you're looking forward to trying that maybe you've gotten a recommendation but you just haven't gotten there yet.
Zestos.
Okay, that's a Coach Step special. I feel like, right?
Yeah, he mentioned it a lot.
Does he eat there a lot?
We was at, like you said, I hosted official in the middle of the week last week. And, that's we were kind of talking about different food places, and he seemed really excited to talk about Zesto, so I might have to go check it out.
Yeah, I think that's one of his go-tos, man. Growing up around here, back in the day. So, um, I don't know if I don't know if I can say the name of the recruit. So we'll just talk in general. I know you got to host a guy in the middle of a week last week. I think you're on the board to host somebody again coming up. So, um, there's a certain level of trust I feel like for you to be the new guy and Coach Step would be like, hey man, we trust you to show this guy around to let him know what this place is all about. Have you enjoyed, or what has it been like to kind of be on that side of things and host guys and help them have a great experience when they're at South Carolina?
It's been really good for them to put that much trust in me, and I just got here shows that they have high expectations for me and high hopes. So I love that they're holding me to that standard, and I think it's kind of unique that like me just being in, like just getting in here, and I get to tell guys like this how my transition has been. Like this is what helped me. So like they're gonna be in my shoes come next year. So like they have somebody that was just right there to kind of help them and guide them along.
What's your recruiting pitch been like? Do you put the recruiting like salesman hat on, or are you a little more kind of low key, like you just want to kind of let them make their own decision, but you push maybe the things you feel are important? What is your approach? I guess what's your recruiting pitch to these wide receivers that you're hosting?
Really my approach is I'm super laid back. I'm just gonna talk to them about who they are as a person first before like I ever just say like, oh, you need to come here, this and that, or try to talk about what other schools they got recruiting them. I feel like I need to get to know them as a person, just try to get like where they come from. But at the end of the day, when it comes down to just like my pitch is basically like the situation we're in right now. Next year, our room is going to be wide open because we have a ton of receivers leaving, and basically, I'm telling like this is just the perfect idea to come in to a great setting and really just be a factor as a true freshman.
Definitely, man. Definitely. A couple things more for you here. Again, this is a Garnet Trust exclusive brought to you by 360 Clean. And so, Corey, I think, again, one thing we try to give the fans with these interviews is a little bit of a glimpse into your day to day life. So, one of our popular questions, if you're not playing football, you're not working out, you're not eating, what is Corey Rucker doing in his free time? Are there any particular hobbies? You play in the video games? What's kind of your thing, man? And I see you smiling, so I'm hoping you got something like maybe off the wall for us or something.
Corey Rucker is going to bowl.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
So is that are you pretty good, Corey?
I am
What's the best you've ever bowled?
264.
Okay, I
Yeah,
got you.
I back in December, we had a couple official visits back at Arkansas State. We went to the bowling alley, and I was like, man, bowling kind of fun. And I had a teammate, Valence Hunt. He could actually bowl left hand, right hand. He's really good. And he taught me how to spin the ball and how to bowl. And then after that, it became like it was an every Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday thing. And I got three of my own bowling balls, got my own bowling shoes, and that's just what I do.
So you got the professional looking spin on it where it's like going towards sort of the edge and then it's curving back.
Yeah.
Dang, man, that's pretty cool. Yeah, and did you get to go bowling for that midweek official visit?
Yeah, we did. We did go bowling.
Okay, yeah, I've heard that's on the docket. I think the Grand is one of the stops for official visits. So that's pretty cool, man. Are you gonna maybe one day break 300? Like, I know that's
Yeah,
like, is that the goal?
that's the goal. We chasing 300.
Okay. Maybe this weekend, man, we'll be pulling for you. That'll be cool. And you just picked that up.
Yeah. So what? I think I started taking it serious like in February. So yeah.
Wow. Okay. So you probably still have some upside there to go, I would feel like, because you've only been doing this for 4 months, man. So that's real cool. Do you play? I know a lot of the guys play, I guess 2K and Call of Duty. Like, is that part of your deal or not at all?
Not at all.
Not at all. So no gaming for Corey. Um, Cool, man. Well, so before we close it out here, 40 days or so until preseason practice. What are the personal goals as you start to look ahead to that? It's going to be here before you know it, man. Next thing you know, you'll be running out 2001 at Williams-Brice Stadium, 80,000 people. What are your goals kind of as you start to inch ahead to getting ready for this season?
Honestly, just get comfortable with the playbook and really just be there to make plays.
Okay, I got you, man. And what's the excitement level? Have you let yourself start to think about what it's going to be like to throw that helmet on and run out in front of all these people and compete with your teammates? Like, are you at that point of thinking about that yet, or is it more just like, let's concentrate on the day to day, and that day will be here when it gets here?
I thought of it a few times. Every time they showed a video of like everybody going crazy the sandstorm. I kind of have like that little imagination thought process, but for the most part, I try to stay in the present and just go day to day.
Definitely, man. Well, Corey, hey, dude, we appreciate the time today. Appreciate you sharing some of your stories with us, and good luck. We want you to tweet about it when you hit 300, okay? Because I think you're going to get there sooner rather than later. But again, we appreciate 360 Clean, appreciate Garnet Trust, and we appreciate you, man. We'll talk to you soon, okay?
All right, appreciate it.